Hello and welcome all! I am so happy for you to be joining me today. This is 11E Earl from Zephyr Epic coming to you with this fantastic box opening. If you are a Canadian resident who is a fan of all things trading cards, please follow the link in the description below to check out zephyrepic.com for incredible deals on cards, accessories, box breaks, and beyond. Today we're going to be doing a box opening. Now, this is not your ordinary set. No, today we are going to be opening Dominaria Remastered Collector Boosters. This is a set of sets. Absolutely loaded with incredible cards. We're talking tutors, we're talking Force of Will. I mean, the list goes on. Reprints of many needed cards. Fantastic for multiple formats. Especially EDH players out there, which we know that there's a lot of you. So I'm so excited for you to be here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the opening. So when this set first got spoiled, I tell you, I was all sorts of excited. I mean, seeing cards in alternate new artwork that are staple cards for formats, I mean, what more could you ask for? Okay, so let's go ahead and get these packs out of here, and we're just going to put this box away. And there's our packs there. So let's get right into it and see what we get. Now I've noticed that these packs are a little bit tough to open, so I'm going to go ahead and use some scissors here to open up these packs. We'll wait for the focus. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some of these open and start finding out what we get. We'll make a little pile over here. Okay, so starting things off, we see our insect token right there. Okay. Now, I know from experience that the rares are going to be at the front here, so we're going to be a little bit careful with that. So we're going to go through our commons. Oh, all right. So we got our Lemure. For those who don't know, this card was originally printed as a lemur in the artwork, but it was actually a misunderstanding by the artist. It's meant to be a lemure, so they finally fixed the artwork for this. Pretty funny that they finally went full circle on this, and we actually just did a blog post where we talk about that. We got more commons here. Elvish Aberration, 5 and a green, tap for 3 green. Not too bad with forest cycling, so you can always search up your forests there. Mog War Marshal, right on. Okay, so this is a fantastic card. I'm a big Goblin player, and this is a must-have in your Goblin decks, especially in Commander. I truly do like this card. I mean, making little Goblin buddies when he comes in, and then when he dies, come on, couldn't ask for more. Okay, let's get more into it here. Twisted Experiment, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/-1, so it could power up your creature, or it could destroy one of your opponent's creatures. And then Skirk Prospector. Okay, 2 awesome goblins in one pack. You can't really ask for better than that. So Skirk Prospector is the engine that keeps goblins running. Gamekeeper, there's an uncommon. Another uncommon, Tormod's Crypt. Awesome sideboard card in many formats. Ooh, nice old border foil land. Gotta like that. So I believe what they did for this set is they actually reprinted the original lands from Alpha in a nice alternate border here. But you can see that the border is foil, but the actual image is not foil, which makes for a nice pop because it's almost like a reverse foil. Okay, so we should be starting to get into the goodies here. Yeah, there's an old border Tormod's Crypt. Old border Frantic Search. Ooh, old border foil Peregrine Drake. There's some cool combos you can do with that. Nice! Foil Worldly Tutor. Very exciting card. Obviously a staple in Commander. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal it, put it on top. What more could you ask for? So we're going to set that one aside. That's a big hit for sure. Next, we're into a Mystical Tutor. Back-to-back tutors. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Old border nonetheless. Very sweet. So it does the same thing, but you're looking for an instant or sorcery card. Could it be another tutor? Siege Gang Commander in alternate art. Very cool. I do like that a lot. Obviously, Siege Gang Commander is a great payoff for any kind of red deck. And last, we got a Urza's Blueprints. So yeah, kind of a cool card. I wouldn't say it's the best card in the world, but it does tap to draw you cards, which is always valuable. And then we've got our very unique Sapperling token and Insect token. Okay, so let's go ahead and separate that Mystical Tutor and that Worldly Tutor. Now, moving forward, I plan to, we'll put away those rares too, but these are kind of our bigger hits so far. So I'm probably going to disregard many of the commons here because who needs to see them, right? Once you see a few of them, you're well on your way, and that kind of applies to uncommons too. Depending on what it is, we're probably just going to cruise through it so we don't spend too much time. Okay. All right. Let's get into the next section here. Next pack. Here we go. We got Chain Lightning. Again, more staple cards. Very cool. Cloud of Fairies. Pacifism with very cool artwork. I do like that a lot. Nightscape Familiar. Subterranean Scout. And we should be getting into, oh, nice, Elvish Spirit Guide. This was a needed reprint. This card's used in quite a few different formats. The ability to just get free mana off of it by exiling it is, it's pretty valuable ability. And the fact that they reprinted it here is really awesome. Great card to add to a few different types of commander decks. And honestly, too, the price was way too high on this card previously, so it really needed a reprint. So happy to see that one. Squirrel Nest, what a classic, right? Who doesn't like squirrels? There's a nice mountain. Very beautiful, very beautiful. And we're going to get into old borders now with Quicksilver Dagger. And we got a Seer here. Draw a card, reveal it. If it's a land, discard it. And White Mane Lion, foil in the old border. Very cool. I have a few different commander decks where this is actually a pretty efficient card. You can do some cool shenanigans with this by being able to bounce a creature, especially if it's like an Ornithopter or something that costs 0 mana. You can bounce that creature and then cast it again. And any card that reads that, when you cast a creature, this thing becomes quite valuable. Okay, so we're getting into the heat of it now. So let's take a look at what we got here. Windborn Muse, foil. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so we'll put that with our rares there. Next, we got a Decimate. So not fully a board wipe, but still a pretty efficient card. The downside of this, of course, is that you do need targets for all of the above. And if the targets are your own stuff, you end up sacrificing some stuff. But it's not the worst. And then we got, nice. Borderless Vampiric Tutor, art by RKF. That's right, Richard Kane Ferguson, who did the original art for Dakin Blackblade. So legendary artist in Magic the Gathering. Very cool to get this card. Probably one of the best tutors of all time. Very sweet. So we got 3 awesome tutors so far. Can't complain about that. What is our next card? Last card of the set of the pack. Test of Endurance. This is a pretty cool card. So Test of Endurance, in Commander, it's pretty great. If you have any kind of life gain, this is a card you want. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game. It's just that simple, folks. You want to win? Boom, you can do it. All right, and then we got our Bird and Insect token. Right on. So not a terrible pack. That's pretty exciting to get that Vampiric Tutor. So double Mythic pack, can't complain about that. Obviously, we're looking for that Force of Will in the borderless foil. That's by far the best card in the whole set for sure. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're just gonna flip right through these. Deep Analysis, Coal Stoker, Remote Isle, Juggernaut, Urborg Siphon Mage, Nantuko Monastery. So kind of a cool ability. It's got Threshold, so it can become a 4/4. You just need to have 7 cards in your graveyard there, or more. Okay, next we got Sarah Angel. What a classic, right? Flying Vigilance, it's the first of its kind, very powerful card. This was a bomb way back in the day, and I bet it's a bomb in this format too, actually. And we got our island with art by Mark Poole. So I believe this is actually exactly the Alpha Island. Obviously, it wasn't foil at the time. And again, this is that reverse foiling where you get that nice pop by it not being foil in the middle there, but nice rainbow foiling on that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, next we got our Peregrine Drake, another one. Okay, and again, we're into the old borders now. Momentary Blink. Then Wild Growth. Okay, and this should be the heat coming up. Maze of Ith, foil. Wow. Untap target attacking creature. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt 2 and dealt by that creature. So this card's great if you're trying to evade someone from smacking you in the face there. Just go ahead and tap this, and yeah, you can stop them. Now, this is one of those lands where it's really just a spell. It doesn't actually tap for mana, but it does what it needs to do for sure. So we're going to put that over in our rare piles. You know what? We're going to put that in our more rare piles because that's a pretty exciting hit. Arborea, creatures can't attack a player unless that player's cast a spell or put a non-token permanent onto the battlefield during their last turn. So have fun tracking that ability, you know. Wow, look at that. Birds of Paradise has been a staple card since the beginning of time for Magic here. And, you know, this new artwork is just fantastic. Very beautiful card. Taps for any mana. Absolute staple card. And last but not least, wow, borderless foil Enlightened Tutor. Search your library for an artifact or enchantment and reveal it, shuffle it, put that card on top. So we've got 4 of the 5 different tutors so far, and I mean, that's a pretty good one, right? Right on. Do like that one quite a bit. Okay, let's get into our next pack here. We'll wait for the focus. There we go. Okay, let's get into this. So that's only 3 packs deep, so we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Okay, let's see what we get next here. Okay, Avarax, Festering Goblin, Oveneyes, Macetail Hystrodon, First Strike, Haste, Cycling 3, Stonewood Invoker, Mystic Enforcer, Sawtooth Loon, nice Swamp in the old border foil. I do love these lands. These are just great. If I could fill a deck with these, I absolutely would. White Mane Lion, Invigorating Boon. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Obviously, that's probably pretty good in this limited format. I don't view it being that good against somebody unless you happen to know that they're running some kind of cycling deck. Ooh, Tiana, Ship's Caretaker in the old border foil. This is a character from the latest iteration of Dominaria, not Dominaria United, I should mention, but part of the Weatherlight crew when they were around. Obviously, that poor Weatherlight has become a Phyrexian, so we won't be seeing much of it anymore. But you know, still a pretty cool part of the lore. Grim Lavamancer. I mean, it speaks for itself, right? It can do damage. It can do a lot of things. For 1 pip, it's pretty dang good. Next, we got Legacy Weapon. Very cool, wonderful artwork. If you can see that there, it's actually just got an image of the Weatherlight using its power to destroy Yawgmoth there. In a single blinding flash, Yawgmoth was obliterated and Urza could finally rest. Very cool, very cool. So nice mythic there, but I would argue it's a bit of a bulk mythic. Next, Lyra Dawnbringer. Very sick card. Flying, First Strike, Lifelink. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have Lifelink. This is an essential card if you're running any kind of angel tribal. Awesome. Awesome hit. And last but not least, Saproling Symbiosis. You may cast Saproling Symbiosis as though it had flash. If you pay 2 more, create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token for each creature you control. Obviously, this can really gum up the board if you use it at the right time. And the fact that you can use it at flash speed is pretty interesting too. So this set is just bonkers. It's pretty exciting to be able to open this stuff. And, you know, these collector packs just come loaded with goodies. We'll focus that up a little bit. Okay, let's see here. We got a Glintwing Invoker, Goblin Turncoat, Ridgetop Raptor, Penumbra Bobcat, Undying Rage, Congregate, Gempalm Incinerator. This is a sweet card. When you cycle Gempalm Incinerator, you may have it deal X damage to target creature where X is the number of goblins on your battlefield. You can pretty easily kill some things with this if you're playing goblins. Pretty powerful card. Okay, moving on. Another Mountain by Mark Poole, or John Avon, I should say. But, you know, this was deceptive to me. The little signature in the corner is such a classic Magic thing. And, you know, Mark Poole, very notably, would always have Poole in the bottom right corner. Okay, Street Wraith, In the Old Border. Lull in the Old Border. Street Wraith again. Old Border foil. Sulphur Falls. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a pretty sweet land, and the fact that it's foil is always exciting. Gotta like that. Zera Arian. So there's a new iteration of this card that came in Dominaria United box toppers. It's a pretty cool card. You know, it pays homage back to Legends, which was a pretty cool set way back when. Yeah, and you know, they mix those cards into Dominaria United collector packs. So kind of cool that you can find these old cards and that they reprinted this one. Put that with our rares. Next we got Maze of Ith. Okay, so we got the borderless version now. This is pretty cool. Gotta like that. So we already explained what it does, but it's very cool to get the borderless one. Beautiful artwork. And last but not least, we got Sylvan Library. Wow. Borderless foil Sylvan Library. What a beautiful card. Holy moly. That is just fantastic. What a great card. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. So definitely going to set that one aside. You know what? So a few of these here, given their value, I think it's best that, you know, we're just going to take a second here. We're just going to sleeve up this little guy here. We'll go ahead and sleeve up this Worldly Tutor and Mystical Tutor. And obviously that Vamp is very cool. You know, can't complain about that artwork. And then we got that Enlightened Tutor. So all we really need is Gamble now, and we've gotten all the tutors that you could ask for. Maze of Ith foil, Test of Endurance foil, and then Lyre Dawnbringer. Okay, so let's get those set aside. So definitely, you know, best cards so far are Sylvan Library and our Vampiric Tutor. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay, moving on to the next pack here. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. We're looking for that Force of Will. You can't really complain if you get a Force of Will. So let's go ahead, you know, not that we should complain so far. Okay, so we're going to fly through this. Duress. Counterspell. Very cool. Orum's Thunder. Snap. Urborg Uprising. Crosis Catacombs. So it's cool that they reprinted this. So when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return a non-layer land you control to its owner's hand. So there's some versatility in this for sure. Okay, another one, another layer. Same thing, same ability. Nice swamp there. Renewed Faith in the Old Borders. Rada, Heir to Keld in Old Border. Wow, I like that artwork. I don't know if that's new artwork, but I do like it a lot. That might be my favorite artwork of her. Next, we got Mesa Enchantress. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you draw a card. This is a great card. Next, we got Absorb, one of my first favorite cards ever. Counter target spell, you gain 3 life. As a Azorius player, I know, forgive me, please. You know, I'm a big into control magic, and this is an absolute staple in that. Next, Royal Assassin. Destroy target tapped creature. Pretty useful stuff. Helm of Awakening. Spells cost 1 less to cast, but don't forget, that affects your opponents too, so you want to be conscious of that. And last in the pack, Mind Slicer. Okay, so when it dies, each player discards their hand. So, you know, not the most powerful pack, but again, we're not complaining here. We got some goodies so far, so let's get into the next one here. Okay. So I believe his Last Chance is one of the reprinted cards in this set, and that's one that I'm hunting for that I know that I play a lot. Goblin Matron foil, very cool. Empty the Warrens. Great Storm card. Sandstorm. 1 damage for each attack. Sandstorm deals 1 damage to each attacking creature. Pretty cool instant. Fantastic artwork. If we take a close look at that there, you can see a Phyrexian Dragon Engine kind of working its way out of a storm, ready to destroy all around it. Lull. Spark Spray. And Milliken. Millicard. Add colorless. Wax and Wane. Target creature gets +2/+2 or destroy target enchantment. Pretty useful. Nice Mountain. Mesa Enchantress, another good one. Wild Growth. Goblin Matron, Old Border foil, very sweet. Very sweet. I don't know if you know the 7th edition artwork of Goblin Matron, but one of my favorites. But this is a close one for sure. I do like this card quite a bit. Obviously, it's essential if you want to get some kind of combo going in your Goblin deck. Okay, here we go. Oh, nice. Foil Hunting Grounds. This is a good one. As long as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, it has whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. So unless someone's exiling your graveyard and this is online, you know, you're getting some pretty huge cards out there for free. Next we got Sneak Attack. Talk about getting cards out for free. Sneak Attack is the fantastic secret way of, you know, just slamming a nice big Eldrazi onto the battlefield and seeing how your opponent reacts to it. Okay, next up we got Triskelion, a one-time incredible card. Not so much today, but very cool nonetheless. Enters the battlefield with 3 counters on it, remove a counter from it, deals 1 damage. You know, it's like a historic Walking Ballista. And last in the pack, we got a foil borderless, or foil old border Grim Lavamancer. Very sweet, beautiful card. Okay, so we are past the halfway point here. I just wanted to give a shout out again and just say I'm so glad that you're here, and that if you are interested and you're a Canadian resident, please follow the link in the description below to check out ZephyrEpic.com. You can find some incredible deals. Okay, so getting into it, there's our Dragon Engine that I was talking about in Sandstorm there. Then Polluted Mire. Next up, we got a Lightning Reflexes, very cool. And Symbiotic Beast. Slippery Karst. Improvised Armor. Swords to Plowshares, very sweet. Exile target creature's controller, gains life equal to its power. Obviously, very good in white. Nice forest there. Mishra's Factory, pretty sweet. I believe this is back in standard now, but you can make it a 2/2, and then you can tap it to get a +1/+1. So notably, what you can do with this card is it's kind of cool. What you'll do is you turn it into a 2/2 to block something, tap it to make it a 3/3, and the damage still goes through. So if you choose to block a 2/2, for example, you end up keeping your land and still destroying theirs. So pretty cool. There's another Chain Lightning and an Old Border. Ovenize. Old Border foil. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 0/1. So pretty efficient if you're facing off against something that you're worried about. Stroke of Genius. Target player draws X cards. Pretty cool card. Nice rare. Mystic Remora. That's pretty sweet. Absolute staple card in EDH, but especially in CDH. Some might argue that this is the best enchantment in CDH. At 1 mana, getting you to draw some additional cards is a pretty big blowout. Okay, next up we got Absorb in new artwork, borderless counter target spell, gain 3 life. Gotta love it. Very sweet. And last in the pack, we have a borderless foil Entomb. Pretty cool. Search your library for a card, put that card into your graveyard, and then shuffle. If you're playing some kind of reanimation deck, this is the card you want. This card will get you there. So go ahead and sleeve that one up real quick here and just put that away. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put our bulk over here. There's our rares. These are our big hits so far. Let's get into the last few packs here. We've got 4 left. We're just going to get this one open. Okay, let's see what we got here. Disregarding the commons, Oromancer, Mindstone. Pretty sweet to get foil, though. Mindstone is still a staple card for any kind of ramping, you know. Pretty effective, too, because you can sacrifice later in the game to draw yourself a card. That's the kind of stuff you look for. Ornithopter, nice. Speaking of Ornithopter earlier, there's a foil one. Very sweet, very sweet. Okay, and then we got Wretched Anurid. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you lose 1 life. Doesn't seem that great, but it's a 3/3 at 2 mana. Not too bad. There's a Terror. There's a Fire and Ice foil. Pretty sweet card. You know, seen play for a long time. Pretty good one. Another Mesa Enchantress. There's a Plains. Spirit Link. And Ovenize again. There's a Terror foil with the Old Border. Triskelion, there it is, back again, but original, or the more common artwork and the newer artwork, and then the you know, you have the newer border as well. Okay, let's flip it over. Savine's Reclamation. I did not even know this was in the set. This is a great commander card. So Savine's Reclamation has become quite a popular card in the last couple years since its printing. Return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. But the important thing here is if this spell was cast from the graveyard, you may copy this spell and you may choose new targets for the copy. So basically for 3 mana, you do get a 3-drop back from the graveyard to the battlefield. That could be a land too, but for 5, you actually get 2 of them. So not too bad at all. Pretty cool reanimation in white there. Oversold Cemetery at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty cool card. You do need quite a bit in your graveyard to make it work, but it's not too bad as playing it on 2. And last card in the pack, we have a Crawl Space. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. Pretty cool card there. Old border, nice foiling, love it. This is pretty cool. This set really does pay homage to the history of Dominaria and its long illustrious history. So combining 27, I believe, sets all together, pretty fantastic stuff. So hats off to Wizards of the Coast for producing this. There's an Impulse, Break Asunder, and we got Kavu Primarch, Setton's Desire, White Main Line again, Quicksilver Dagger, and Thrawn Golem. There's an island. There's that OG island that we love so much. Mog War Marshal again. Old border, gotta love it. Nature's Lore. Search your library for a force card. Put that card into the battlefield, then shuffle. Oh, there we go. And we got Recoil. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. That player discards a card. Pretty powerful stuff. If you time it right, you can nail that card. There's an Entomb. Okay, so there's the new artwork of Entomb in foil. Gotta like that. Very cool. Or the more commonly seen artwork, I should say, not new. Then we got Sulfuric Vortex. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, deals 2 damage to that player. I'm just going to separate that Entomb real quick. We're going to go ahead and sleeve that one up. All right, there's a borderless time stretch. Very cool. Target player takes 2 extra turns after this one. Pretty sweet little gem of a card there. It does cost 10 mana, but obviously there is ways of cheating this out, and it can be quite big of a spell. And then we got, wow, look at that. Borderless Foil Gemstone Mine. Very cool card, especially valuable if you can proliferate within your deck. Enters the battlefield with 3 mining counters on it, and you remove a counter and it taps for any color. So obviously if you're proliferating it and you just get endless counters on this thing, you're in a pretty good spot. So we'll go ahead and sleeve up those 3 cards. Pretty awesome hits there. Not quite as good as a foil borderless Sylvan Library, but we'll take what we can get, Okay, so we're down to our last 2 packs here. So let's go ahead and get this open. Okay, let's see what we got here. So we're going to speed through this. Giant Spider. Phyrexian Rager. Terminal Moraine. Sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put that card on the battlefield tapped. You have to pay 2 mana for it, but not too bad, not too bad. Draw News Crusade. All goblins get +1/+1. All goblins are black and are zombie in addition to their other creature types. I bet you could do some pretty versatile, cool things with that. And we got Stand to Deliver. Prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to a creature, and return target permanent to its owner's hand. Boom. Nice island there. Wow, look at that artwork. Very cool, by Richard Wright. Next up, we got a counterspell in the old border. Very sweet. Obviously, this card's been around forever, but very versatile, very good in blue. You're usually playing it. There's a Juggernaut. And we got a Mindstone old border foil. Very sweet, very sweet. Do like that one. Hinterland Harbor, nice foiling. That's fantastic. Great land. I do play a lot of those. Urza's Blueprint, so we've seen this one already, but it's pretty sweet. Get that old artwork. And Gauntlet of Power. Wow, look at that new artwork of Gauntlet of Power. So I will make a note that this was actually reprinted recently in Time Spiral Remastered. I believe that was a couple years ago now. But it's a very powerful card. Pretty versatile. But the great thing about it is you do get the +1/+1, which is fantastic, but you do get double mana, which is really powerful too. So great to see it in this new artwork, and it's pretty sweet to see all these multicolored parts all kind of fused together to represent what it does. So we're going to go ahead and sleeve that one up. And last in the pack, we got Nice. Savine's Reclamation. And that one's in the old border foil. Very sweet. We just spoke about this card. Fantastic pickup. Okay, so we're on to our last pack. So we have not seen the Force of Will just yet, but who knows? Maybe it's in this last pack, but that's not to say that we haven't had some good hits, right, folks? Okay, so let's go ahead and get this one open. And let's take a look at what we got. Okay, here we go. Getting right into it. We're just going to flip past some of these commons here. Renewed Faith, Momentary Blink, Wild Dogs, Illusion to Reality, Tiana, Ship's Caretaker. We've seen that one, but we saw the old border. There's our mountain. Getting into the last few cards here. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Old border, Duress. Old border, Deadwood Treefolk. And old border, Fact or Fiction. Pretty sweet. So one thing I'll note about this is I'm a big fan of the artwork. So you can see Joyra here, who's captain of the Weatherlight. I mean, like I said, not anymore, sadly. But you see Slimefoot in the background here. And if you're interested, do check out Slimefoot's lore. Pretty cool little character. So Slimefoot was actually just... a bacteria that grew on the base of the ship and became the stowaway of the ship. And now it's, a necessary part of the crew. So the flavor text speaks volumes here. Slimefoot, I know I said I wanted to grow our repository of knowledge, but this isn't what I had in mind. Speaking to, of course, that Slimefoot does create Saproling. So pretty cute little bit of flavor there. And moving on. Sweet. Rith the Awakener. What a powerhouse. Okay, so we got, so for 3, and I guess you'd call it Cabaretti, but, that's, a little bit of a faux pas, but flying 6/6, when Rith the Awakener deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and a green. If you do, choose a color, then create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token for each permanent of that color. So, there's some versatility with this card here, and pretty powerful in the end of the day. Separate that one. Last 3 cards here. Let's see what we get. And we got Jal-Rael. Okay, this is a pretty cool card. So whenever you draw your second card each turn, you get to create a 2/2 cat. So there's some versatile things you can do with this. I especially like it in Tulane. Pretty powerful commander there, but its ability itself will let you make cats every single turn that you cast a creature. So pretty cool that you can combo with that thing. Okay, so we're down to our last 2 cards. We'll just show that zombie griffin real quick. And yeah, let's see what we got here. This is the second last card. No Mercy. Whenever a creature deals damage to you, destroy it. Pretty sweet reprint there. Nice borderless artwork too, black. What is happening in this artwork? Leave no survivors. Let the other world see what befalls those who attempt to resist the might of Phyrexia. Shieldred saying that. Pretty sweet little card there. Fantastic artwork. Wow, you can really see the power of Phyrexia just swarming in there. Cool. Okay, so here we go. Last card. And foil. Old border. Sneak attack. Pretty sick little pickup there. A little scratch across the card there, but that's not uncommon in production of certain cards these days. But this is a fantastic card. Still super versatile. And I mean, hey, if you're ever into Vintage Cube, obviously you keep an eye out for this one and the Eldrazi Titans there. So very sweet little pickup there. I'm going to go ahead and sleeve that one up and sleeve up our No Mercy. And we'll just do a brief little recap of what we got here. Just before we close things out, I'll just say one more time that if you're a Canadian resident who's a fan of all things trading cards, please go ahead and follow the link in the description below. You can check out ZephyrEpic.com. Fantastic deals on all sorts of trading card stuff. And, feel free to pop by the store sometime. The staff would be happy to have you. Okay, so let's kind of recap here. So we got, No Mercy, Sneak Attack, Gauntlet of Power. We got a couple copies of Entomb. So we got the new foil borderless artwork, and then we've got the older artwork, but also in foil. Very cool. Nice time stretch there. Gemstone Mine, which is, not the most incredible card, but like I said, in the right deck, if you can proliferate this stuff, if you can do some kind of shenanigans, get a bunch of colored mana out of it, it's pretty powerful if you don't have to sacrifice it. There's our big hit with Sylvan Library. One of the most powerful green spells, I think, that probably exists. Pretty cool ability. letting you really seek through your deck there a little bit. So we got Vampiric Tutor in the borderless. Very sweet. Search your library for a card, shuffle, put that card on top, lose 2 life. Small price to pay for any card in your deck. Lyra Dawnbringer, Test of Endurance, as I mentioned before, pretty valuable if you have some kind of life gain deck. 50 or more life, you win the game. Come on. Pretty sweet. Maze of Ith. There's our Birds of Paradise. And then we've got our Enlightened Tutor, our Mystical Tutor, and our Worldly Tutor. Very exciting stuff. So I want to thank you all for joining me today for this box opening. It was so much fun. And I hope that you all have a chance to enjoy this set. Hey, if you're lucky and you get to draft it, go ahead and do that. So thank you again for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful one and all the best to you. Cheers.